Hello everyone, it's FarmSim Guy here, hope you're well. We are back on Farmersburg. We are now into mid-spring. It's 10 in the morning, so we've just started a new day. This chap here is finishing off planting on this field. That's field 41 there. And over here, Betty, our helper, is ploughing under the lime in this field. How good does that look with the real dirt mod? How good does that look? So, yep, Betty's finishing that field, getting that lime ploughed under. So, really, we're making good progress. Let's just jump to Seasons menu to have a look at where we are at. Now, I'm conscious we have already planted a couple of cornfields, which was our bad for not checking seasons before we started. But we're in a prime opportunity now to plant both soybeans and corn. So we'll do that. We bought a new planter at the end of the last episode. So we're just going to jump into field 45, our small field there, and we are going to get some soybeans planted. So let's go and do that straight away. In our two-wheel drive 4955, which has turned out to be a brilliantly powerful tractor. We're just going to run this, and I think we're going to run it manually. It's such a small field this that feels overkill. Running a course play or GPS on it, you can pretty much see where it's going to go. So we'll just run this. I think the sower is on fold. This is a narrow sower, seeder. So if I fold it, that's all it does. Just folds those blades in. This is actually its working width, so just need to have my wits about me a bit while I'm driving it to not miss too much. So with that in mind, I'll crack on. In fact, I've just changed my mind. I am going to run GPS on this just to get my lines nice and straight. So let's do that. Right, that's a setup. It is a very narrow implement. We will find the nearest close edge and we will crack on with this. So we will be back very shortly. Okay, we're nearly done here. That was harder than I thought. It's just an interesting shaped field, and I think just using a narrower implement just reduces your margin for error, shall we say. You can always overlap a little bit more with a big machine, but when you're running something this narrow, it's actually hard to make sure you capture everything. But I still enjoy that. I'll tell you what, I'm glad I put GPS on. Crikey. It would have been difficult without GPS. There would have been a lot of white dots still in the field, I think. So, pleased to have got this done. As you can see there in the bottom left corner as well, both the other tractors are finished. They almost finished simultaneously. So we have another field planted, which is great news. And we have another field ploughed, and we'll put this planter straight into that field, I think. We're not going to hang around. So I'll just get around here. These trees blurring my vision. Yeah, no, we'll put this planter straight into the field that we were just ploughing there. And we'll let them crack on with that. And we'll have a think about what we're going to do next on the farm. So we'll just run to the end of this row here. And we'll put another tick in the box for another field ready. These are going to need fertilising at some point as well. Haven't thought particularly far ahead about how I'm going to fertilise things. But at the moment, just pleased to get this in the ground early in the season. And we'll see how this will grow. Right. Field done. We really didn't use a lot of crops there at all. A lot of seed, should I say, not crops. So let's run this back to the yard. And actually, we'll not even bother running it back to the yard. We're just going to run it straight to the next field and get him straight away started planting. It's the most sensible thing to do. Looks like a rather nice job done. So I'm trying a few new things here with courseplay. We're skipping rows, and we've bumped up our headland overlap to 20% to see if it'll just avoid these little corner edges that we keep missing. So these are those little bits of lime there that the plough's missed. I'm kind of hoping we're going to do a bigger overlap on them, which will allow us to complete the whole field. Just change that to up and down rows first. Made a mess of that, so we'll finish here, and our up and down rows he'll start over the other end of the field, I think. Let's just find out where he goes. Okay, here he is, starting in the top corner. He's got a job to do now. Knows exactly what he's doing, so we'll just let him crack on with it. We'll keep popping back and make sure he's alright. And we'll go and get the other tractor and the planter out of field 41. Right, planter's done as well. There's something wrong with that planter. It's not... it's putting seed out very, very slowly. It has planted the field. It all says it's planted, so something just not quite right, but I'm not going to grumble. Saved us a lot of money on seed. Again, let's tuck him away. We won't be needing him again this year, because we now have, when we finish that field at the top there, all our fields planted. So let's just tuck him away in the corner here. So there you go, he's planting well. As you can see there, we're doing missing rows. There's leaving quite an overlap in all of those, which is interesting. I might have to go back and adjust that for future fields. But for now, I'm more than happy that he's going to capture the whole field. So I am going to leave him to do that. And we will go and have a think about what we're going to do next on the farm. So just looking at the map here, one of the decisions we've got to make is what we're going to do with field 42. Now, I think I'm going to grab some cattle. I think what we want to do is run some beef cattle here. So 42 could... I know we ploughed it under as a grass field, but I think we might just plant that again as a grass field. Kind of tempted to create our own silage. I mean, the other option is we do a maize silage, but that can be quite cost intensive in terms of machinery. So we could put the planter in there, or alternatively, we could plant grass. Having thought about it though, I'm going for more corn. We're going to buy a forage chopper for it, and we are going to create corn silage for our cows, which we don't own yet. But let's get that field started as well. And hopefully we'll get that planted relatively quickly. Right, we've set him to run. We will drop this onto a little time lapse, just for a while anyway, and see how he gets on. Okay, he seems to be running really nicely, and he's doing a good job there. Now, while I was running that tractor, I was just thinking to myself, obviously we're going to create some crops here that we can use with the cattle. It would be nice to be able to sell some of this as well, I think, obviously. So that'll bring us in a bit of revenue. So I'm going to invest in another field. I'm going to get a grass field, and we're going to do a bit of grass work. So in the interim, while the crops are growing, we can have some silage in our store so that we can keep the cows fed and watered. We're going to have to purchase straw. I don't think we have any way of getting around that, but we can certainly get some of our own grass into the farm and ready there for the cows. So we'll go and do a little bit of investigating as to what and how we're going to, one, find a grass field, and two, the best way of harvesting that at an economical price. Well, good news, guys. We have just bought this rather large grass field from our farmer, who was more than happy to sell it to us. He's looking to get rid of land at the moment. And the nice thing is, it's just over the road from our farm, so we do not have that far to go. So what makes that interesting for me now is that we can start to think about doing some grass work while we're waiting for our crops to grow. Of course, that means some mowing equipment, and I know just the mower for the job. The HX20 Batwing, great mower. I think that's ideal for what we've got here. So we can give that a go. And the other thing we need is a means of picking up the grass on a small scale. I don't want to spend hundreds of thousands on a forage harvester for such a small field, but we've got this cracking John Deere 3765, which will do perfectly for picking up the grass. So we'll grab ourselves one of those as well, and we'll pick up a trailer. And I think we'll just get to work on this and see how we go. Right, as both the other tractors are busy in the fields, we can start ferrying stuff back to the farm from the shop using this little guy. So join us back shortly and we'll have all the kit back ready to roll. Now here we are at the dealership. I'm just trying to decide which I'll take back first. I think what we'll take is the mower, because it doesn't need masses of horsepower to run that mower. So this guy could actually run that mower. The harvester and the trailer, I think pulling those behind you is one for the bigger tractors with a little bit more grunt. So what we can do is head away and get this started. And then we're not wasting time. Okay, here we are. It's quite a big field actually, isn't it? Quite a big field. And 66% fertilised, so maybe not as a full a crop as we possibly could have got, but we'll know that for next time. I think we'll let it grow out a few times, but I think we just jump in and get started with this. I will put it on a course play, which means I can go back and get the other kit, but let's see how the Batwing handles this. Now we're just running the windrower up to the field now on this old girl. Like I said, she's used for running around the farm very helpfully. Now courseplay doesn't work with this tractor, which is interesting. So what we're going to do is drop it off at the edge of the field, and once it's mowed, we can do a little bit of a swap with the kit. Bring the windrower up and dump the mower back at the farm, and the tractor in the field there can pick that up and do the second part of the job. So nice and efficient. We'll run this back to the farm now, and we'll just go and check on the other tractors, see how they're getting on the fields. Okay, so the corn is planting rather nicely in the big field. That's great to see. It won't be long until he is finished. And I think we'll probably take him down to the shop to collect the forage harvester. But he's looking good. And it looks like our other helper's still filling in rows here, but looking like doing a good, neat and tidy job. So we're in good shape. Things are looking good. So with that in mind, I think we'll probably call it here for this episode. Lots to come in the next episode. We'll try and get some cattle sorted. We'll get that silage done. These crops will be growing and need some spraying at some point, I expect. But until then, we'll get these finished. Until then, we'll get these fields finished. Thanks very much for watching. This has been Farmersburg by MRG Mapping. I have been the Farm Sim Guy. Thank you, as always, for your support and for watching my vids. And I will see you all again very, very soon. Bye for now.